Hello, hello. My name is Guitar, and today I just wanted to make a little video tour of my 1.4 Terraria playthrough world, at least what I have so far. So, let me just jump down to spawn and kind of just give you a little rundown of this world. So this is the spawn point of the world. It started here. I made the world just a little bit after the update came out, like through 2 or 3 weeks maybe. I started on a different server that I made with some friends, and then went to single player after we settled down a little bit. I have a temporary couple of houses set up here right now that I was doing some testing for. Anyway, started on the world and started exploring a little bit. It was actually pretty funny. One of the first things I found on this world was a gold bird. So I was exploring down this way on the grass, and there was a gold bird sitting on the ground. And so I actually got a bunch of dirt blocks and made it, like, built a big box around it. So I trapped it there. I think I had been on one mining adventure already or something, so I had enough money for the merchant to move in. So I built a couple valid houses, which is actually this little house right here. This was my first little starter base house that I made. And I did want it to look interesting. I didn't just want to do a classic noob cube. So I built this little three-tiered, like progressively smaller stacked house here. It actually came out pretty cool. And I got the merchant to move in, and then I caught the gold bird, which was still on the ground right next to it. So that was like my introduction to the world, and it was a really fun story to remember. Anyway, so after I built this little house, I had a little storage building set up over here where my current crafting room is here. So I had that going, and then I wanted to, as like the main part of my village, build a little, like, I had this idea of like a Chinese themed village type deal over here, which eventually um, came to form in this little bamboo and palm wood set of houses with a little man-made pool down here. So I actually found a sort of a natural cave under the ground down here and dug it out, blasted it out. I created most of this hole, but I did kind of follow the natural form of the generation a little bit. So I made this little village to start off with, and one of the first things I discovered with the update with the 1.4 was how great the new bamboo went with palm wood. So that's one of my favorite building combinations now, is the bamboo and palm wood. So I made this little, mostly bamboo furniture with some palm wood mixed in, and then also the Chinese lanterns, which you just make out of silk to throw in to match the theme. So anyway, this is like my main little village for my base, and it was one of my first visions that I tried to make true when I first was planning out how I wanted to build my base. So that was really fun, and I'm really happy how it turned out. I think it's cute and cozy, and it has a cool theme to it. I built this little herb farm over here. Again, not anything super special or anything, but it gets the job done, and it's pretty small scale, but it looks kind of nice, and it definitely doesn't take away from the aesthetic of the rest of the surrounding area, I'd say. So one of the next things I built was my crafting um, like house over here. So I have all the crafting stations that I need, and it's kind of condensed and a little bit crowded, but it gets mostly what I need. Like, I have my ancient manipulator up here because I built this prior to beating the cultist, and so I there's some things that I don't have room for and have kind of thrown in over here temporarily, but so there's definitely some improvements that still need to be made, but so far that's where it's at. This is my first actual storage room. It's moderately sized, I would say, um, but I have since upgraded. There's also a sort of bulk storage. What do you call it? I don't know. bunker area down here where I just kind of, it was actually one of the new natural ore veins that generates close to the surface, where you can see a couple pieces of ore in the grass and then dig down and find a big ore body. It was not this big, but that was where this hole started from. So I just kind of expanded it and um, made it a bulk storage area. I also added this little tunnel in because I wanted easier access from the right side of my base over to where my elevator's at right here. And so I made this little area and just completely greened it out, added plants and bushes and bamboo furniture. Water features are also a lot of fun. Um, I like figuring out interesting ways to include water, little pools and ponds and little platform bridges to go over. These bridges could probably be improved. I have a couple supports on this one here, but like over on this one to the left here, there's not much there. It looks kind of plain, I guess, but it's probably okay. Another thing I added was just down my elevator here, I sort of amplified this little cave that led to an abandoned house. So I kind of I finished up the walls that were missing. I replaced those, added some fenced windows, and some books in here. So I kind of just made it like a not so abandoned house underground, but left the shape and everything the same, and then also modified the little cave leading up to it with some lanterns, a little table here, and another little bridge over this pool right here, just for fun. And I actually like this little project. It's really fun to just modify um, the game generation and make it look just a little bit more unique, I guess, more inhabitable, and change it up. It's a lot of fun. Down here I have some moss growing here to farm, and that's about it. There's another build over there to the left, which we'll get to in a bit. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die from mobs. Anyway, let's continue on. Maybe I'll start on the actually no, don't want to start on the pylon system quite yet. So one of the first things that I needed in the world after getting my base established was an arena to fight bosses, obviously. So I went up to the sky and built a big stone platform. I'd like to add supports, probably eventually, for aesthetics, to make it look supported, and it probably complete the build a lot nicer. But just having some sort of platform that's substantial and provides just a big area to fight the bosses, but also an aesthetically cool area to fight on, is pretty cool for me. So I built a thick stone slab platform, added these little gem spark sections every so often, and then some, oh shoot, I forgot what the name of these trees are. Anyway, the yellow trees, and then left room for um, the expert mode, whatever you call them, relics, as I completed the bosses to fill in. Left a couple gravestones around too, but most of them I've cleaned up. I eventually ran out of room for the relics, and so I built this little supplementary platform section up here for all the final bosses. And yeah, so that was another important thing. Another thing that now that I'm thinking about it, made early on was a little cloud floating in the sky. So first exploring the pylons, I was hoping there would be a sky biome pylon. So I went up to the sky, built this little custom cloud and a house on it, and this pool is for fishing over here. Looks kind of funny. I've been made fun of for that by my cousins and stuff. But unfortunately, I found out there's no sky pylon, so this ended up, I just had to put a teleporter up here for easier access. Before I built this long before hard mode, so I actually just placed a couple of small clouds on the way up so that I could jump up there using my my rocket boots and my grappling hook for my early access. Anyway, I think that was mostly what I started with. So then I started branching out to the other biomes to get my pylon system, my pylon network up and running. Let me just say how awesome the pylon network is, by the way. It's like one of the top 5 features added in 1.4 in my opinion, easily. So let's start with I think the first one I actually made was this desert pylon. I went over to the desert. I have some temporary houses up here that need to be taken down. But I made a little desert outpost. I actually found a magic conch shell while exploring this underground desert early on. So I actually teleported over to this desert and set up a pylon here. One of the first things I did. It's right next to the dungeon, so that's really convenient. And funnily enough, I still have never explored the surface of this particular section of the world, just mostly because I thought it would be funny to have a section completely unexplored for who knows how long, even though I've explored a lot of the rest of the world. So anyway, built this little desert outpost. The new sandstone furniture is awesome. The desert paintings are really cool too. I've been having a ton of fun discovering those new ones. And it works really well with sandstone bricks as well, I've found. So I've tried to mix in sandstone bricks in the structure as well as the background and stuff. So that's been fun. Built it next to this little oasis, so I have fishing access. I also built this little hut and dock for fishing off of. I think it is really fun just to include small structures here and there for just to make the small tasks in the game like fishing more interesting, more fun. I just like building a lot, I guess. Then I built this little bit larger house over here, and my idea was just to get some more practice building with the desert theme, using sandstone and sandstone bricks and stuff, and also show off some of the new paintings. And so I'd been collecting the desert paintings that I found in this world, and I wanted a place to show them off, so I built this little house over here and to show the paintings off. I actually really like how this turned out. The designs with the sandstone bricks on the edges here, on the exterior, turned out really cool. Looked little, I don't know what you call it, little fins around most of the build. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. Another cool thing about it is the foundation down here. Used iridescent bricks, which you make from actually just from ash. That's another really good block to mix in with sandstone that I have found for myself, or I think it looks really good anyway. We will come back here in a minute, I think. But let's go check out some of the other pylons. So I think one of the other early ones I made was the ocean, again because I had the magic conch. So I set up the ocean pylon over here with a couple of small houses, but I tried to make them unique. Mixed in, used mostly palm wood and mixed in some of these, what do you call it? The shell blocks. I can't remember what they're called now. Oh, shell piles. That's right. Shell piles. Just mix those in and put the angler and I think the stylist over here. They like each other or something. But anyway, had a good time with this one too. Made this one a little pier section to sit on, and kind of a very open airflow build theme, I guess. Another thing that I kind of did was decorate around where the pylon actually sat on the various towns, so that was fun also. But I do like this little one. It's pretty simple and probably not as, I don't know, it's not as eye-catching as some of them maybe. And then later on I built this arena for fighting Duke Fishron. Again, just kind of fun. instead of building just a straight wood platform, I added a little variation in the height and then these supports underwater to make it look um, somewhat realistic, and then just these designed palm wood fences actually running up and down in the background to add texture and things like that. I currently have these guys up here for, I think, fighting pirates. I built this little thing so they wouldn't die as much. Anyway, let's head over to the snow. I know I built that one pretty early on as well. This one, I like this one. It's just a cozy snow cottage thing. A little brick foundation underneath. Um, and then just, yeah, um, boreal wood, dynasty shingles for the roof, a little chimney there. Just kind of the classic winter stuff. Moved the demo man and the tavern keep in here. They like it in the snow. And again, I also included some small furniture pieces around the base, or around the build to the right and left and stuff. Had to take a quick little break there and grab some water. My voice was dying, as you probably noticed. And I just realized it's already nighttime, so I might have to pick up the pace a little bit. Might be lingering too long in some of these places. Let's go underground. Mushroom pylon. Oh, I guess I didn't get this one very early, but I did set up this little couple of mushroom houses pretty early on to try and get it, although I couldn't get the pylon until the truffle moved in. So just had a bit of a good time building two little mushroom houses. I added coral stone blocks in to add some color and texture to the mushrooms. I don't quite know if it fits in perfectly, but something I tried out, and it's fun for sure. I also, since we're close here, let's head down to the underworld. I made some houses down here, hoping that there would be an underworld pylon as well, but unfortunately there isn't. If you move NPCs down here, they just sell the cavern pylon. So I had a bit of fun making a couple like hellstone obsidian themed houses customly. Anyway, not too exciting down there for sure. Let's go check out, I think the actual underground pylon might be next. So over here I set up the cavern pylon. I actually just set it up here because I liked the green glowy moss that I discovered. So I moved the mechanic and tinkerer over here, built them a couple little suspended houses. I don't know, little small hut looking theme. They actually remind me a little bit of the jungle shrines in just the general shape. I also built this little house down here to show off some of the underground paintings. These are the classic ones that have been in the game for a long time now, so it is just fun to have a little showcase of them to give them some showing. Also have a little gem tree farm over this way. My hallowed had been creeping up here, which is why there's crystals everywhere, but I contaminated it, so I got it out of here pretty much, I think. That's about I think that's the underground pylon taken care of. Let's just check out the last pylon while we're on it, the hallowed pylon. And the only place in my world that one of the places that I had the worst access to entering hard mode was the underground jungle. Oh, I forgot about surface jungle. Let's check that real quick first. Surface jungle, little house for the dryad and witch doctor. Just a rich mahogany house sort of built into the hillside here. Sort of uneven conglomerate rooms here. I think there's 3 valid houses in this one. No, this top room actually is not valid. So there's only 2. But had a good time with this one. The mudstone bricks I found work really well actually for like jungle themed builds for the roof, and foundation and other things can be useful. Used it a little bit in the background here. So this one was a lot of fun as well. Built a um, little furnishing area around the pylon, and then yeah. So now let's look at the hallowed one. So I wanted access to the underground jungle, and so I built a little custom hallowed biome down here. I since destroyed it and completely rebuilt it in the form of this fairly large, like, hallowed geode kind of deal. And so I just sort of built a giant cave out of pearl stone and then filled it in with as many crystals and gems as I could possibly. And then I built these little houses to try and fit in. And so I used pearl stone bricks, pearl wood, and marble for most of the palette for these houses. Also, crystal blocks for the roof. I discovered that hammering slabs of crystal blocks can actually look pretty neat on the rounded roof design that I tried to do. I also, since we are in the jungle, I wanted to include a sort of mock jungle shrine, and so I built a little jungle shrine out of um, gold bricks and rich mahogany. Or actually, no, that's not rich mahogany. There's some rich mahogany wall, but I used dynasty wood to mix in with the dirt to match well with the gold bricks. And then just messed around with different bridges and furniture around the rest of the cave system. Some crystal critters, or gemstone critters, I guess. And again, showed off. I tried really hard in this world to find ways to include the new updated furniture items. So these new like hallowed looking trees furniture I got from the princess, and those have been super fun to try to include and figure out cool ways to incorporate them in builds. I have a teleporter here that actually goes to where I was originally. Oh no, it goes to the lizard temple. That's right. But anyway, that's just access. Down in the bottom section, I have a crystal ballroom kind of thing. It's just like a royal, almost castle-like structure I wanted to build just for fun. I was having a really good time with the pearl stone and crystal block combination and the new furniture. And so I built this on marble pillars. Again, marble is included a lot as well. Used it for the flooring. Nice marble dance floors in here. And then some crystals and critters and furniture and painting just scattered about the rest of the cave a little bit in the different paths and tunnels. Yeah, so this is probably one of my highlights of the world so far has been this crystal hallowed pylon project. Anyway, let's see what's next here. I think that covers most of the world so far. Now, more recently, I got into the new Underworld Hellstone furniture, or not Hellstone, but Hellstone crate reward furniture, and so oh shoot, I forgot about this one too. This is a large room that I made just to it's a giant vault to dump stuff. So I started a painting collection here to display all the paintings that I've collected. Of course, have many more to go. And then some storage here. So because my upstairs storage room was filling up, I added this for more organized storage, I guess, so that I could keep better track of the massive amounts of sort of stuff, because I'm kind of bad at throwing things away. I also have extra relics shown up here. Haven't finished collecting all of the um, trophies yet to go with the relics, but I'm working on that. Basically just a big open room to start compiling my collection of things. Which one goes where? Oh, this was a test for something else. Ah, okay, here we're back. Oh, I forgot it was. I went to the wrong teleporter. I kind of have my transportation network is not of the highest quality. Up here, this is where I was messing around with the new Underworld furniture from the Hellstone crates, as I was beginning to talk about earlier. So all the new like fire bushes, the hanging pots, which you can put herbs in. What else is there? I don't think there are any new paintings, but mainly just all of the plants and the pots. And oh yeah, I think they may have added a couple new music boxes. I don't remember. The Blood Moon relic I also added in here to really finalize the theme. But anyway, it was just basically showing off the new um, Underworld furniture, and so I built this large. I guess it's technically a house, but it's just a floating demon face thing that I kind of messed around with. Had an idea to try to build it in the shape of a big face, and so yeah, I don't know, screwed around with it. There's not that much I guess I can say about it, but it was a lot of fun. One of the more visually grabbing builds, I guess, that I've done probably so far. And since then, I've done a couple of smaller things. I have started a project where I want to build my name Taigatar in out of um, out of blocks and include it in the world. And I want to build one for that matches like matches a theme for all the different um, biomes in the game. And so I've just started off with that a little bit. I have a forest themed one here where I started the video at, and there's a couple small improvements I might make. And then the other one that I have is the desert one. I'll jump over there. And you probably saw it earlier on the side of the screen over here. Partially what I want to do with these is just make desktop backgrounds for myself, just have a rotation of them. But it's fun matching the themes of the environments and messing around with creativity. I like to sort of challenge myself with different themed projects like that. Anyway, that's pretty much what I've got going in this world. Still things to work on. Still having a great time with Terraria, my all-time favorite game. So I hope that you guys enjoy this little tour. Maybe got some ideas for different block combinations or shapes to try out in your worlds and build off of. Yeah, I'd encourage just building in creativity. It's just a ton of fun, and I don't know. For me, it's a good. It feels like it keeps my mind exercised. Just practicing combining shapes and colors in different ways. It's just a really cool platform to build art off of, at the very least, I find. So, anyway, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching.